Kid Rock is being called a hypocrite, man. We talked about this story on this channel not too long ago. Kid Rock Kid Rock put a video out where he took an AR-15 to several cases of Bud Light in light of Bud Light's partnership with a transgender influencer named Dylan Mulvaney. When we gave our analysis on this, we weren't necessarily siding with, Kid Rock per se. We were siding with Kid Rock needing to not be canceled because he was giving his opinion, albeit in an abrasive fashion. However, it doesn't necessarily make you look all that authentic if you're going to shoot up cases of Bud Light, but then get spotted drinking Bud Light in a public space. So that's what we're going to talk about next, because these famous people are not smart. They're not the smartest tool. They're not the sharpest tool in the shed, man.
Nope.
They're not the sharpest tool in the shed. So here we go. This article from Huffington Post says Kid Rock caught on camera drinking Bud Light despite so-called boycott. Kid Rock just put himself in the middle of a brouhaha after he was photographed drinking a Bud Light at a Nashville bar. The musician was seen drinking the beverage Thursday while attending a show by country singer Colt Ford. Many found Rock's choice of drink a little hypocritical since he famously shot up a case of the beverage back in April to protest the beer company sending a single promotional can to trans TikTok influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Video obtained by TMZ shows the rocker calmly holding the blue beer can while chatting with friends. It's a far cry from months ago when Rock and others were ginned up enough to boycott the brand at the thought that a trans person might also drink their beer of choice. The boycott was successful enough to cause Anheuser-Busch to lay off hundreds of workers after a months-long sales decline for Bud Light, according to the Associated Press. Bud Light also faced backlash from Mulvaney supporters and LGBTQ plus rights groups who felt the beer brand didn't do enough to support in the aftermath of the controversy. Mulvaney later shared that she felt abandoned by Bud Light and faced more bullying and transphobia than I could have ever imagined. Yeah, right. You can watch Rock drink Bud Light in the video below. That's a TMZ video. Not going to play that because once the YouTube audio picks up that sound that TMZ videos make, your video gets flagged for copyright. I ain't got time for that. Considering that Rock previously declared fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch before shooting up cases of beer, many people might consider his beverage selection on Thursday as hypocritical. And they'd be right, but it doesn't end there since Bud Light is still sold at Kid Rock's big ass honky tonk and rock and roll steakhouse in Nashville. And, all relevant links will, of course, be in the description of this video. You can check these out for yourself. This is people on Twitter going in on Kid Rock for drinking Bud Light at this bar. So there you go. Looks like another instance of celebrities being full of shit. But what say you about Kid Rock being spotted? Not even that he was trying to hide it either. It's like, dude, what are you doing? But there he is drinking Bud Light after he went through all of that rigmarole.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. He had one job to do, and that was to not drink one of the worst beverages known to man. Not only did he go back on his word, he was caught 4K at a very public event, hanging over a balcony, just chopping it up, with his other cohorts who were also drinking Bud Lights. It's not that I have a problem with Bud Light drinkers. I used to drink Bud Light back in my college days, back when I didn't have a palate. This guy here apparently loved it so much that he bought cases of it when he used to drink it. So I guess he's a little bit hooked on this garbage. To each their own, right? But hooked enough on this trash to go and drink it after you made such a bold statement. I'm pretty sure there were a lot of people that were on the fence with Kid Rock, like indifferent, like myself, and was like, "Hey, Kid Rock, he's one of us. How about it?" Then, and so yeah,
Oh,
he was being championed by a lot of people, you know. So you already had his hardcore fans, and then you had people like me. I don't want to say he let me down because, like we said, these celebrities, well, they're full of excrement. So I don't really care. I don't really care, if they do something hypocritical. But the whole thing, the reason why I'm disgusted by this is that, well, it was what, 2 months ago, a month, 3 months ago. Like this wasn't long at all. I can see if this was like
mm-mm.
2 years, 3 years, and hey, you've been scratching for a Bud Light, hey, you'll have one. But nah, man, it's been a few months. I'm sure he's been drinking it the whole time. So was it a shtick? Was it to get people on your side? Was it for you to get, all American people to join you? What was this? Was it a publicity stunt? Because that's what it seems like now. So, yeah, this is disgusting, and what a setback. Not really, because I don't really care what the leftist people have to say. Oh, this is your champion, Kid Rock. Well, he's shipping it to you. So you transphobes need to. Nah, I don't care, man. I don't care. But I don't want them getting any W's, even if it's a small one like this, because now they can beat on their chest. So yeah, that's the part about it that I don't like, man. You gave them a mini W. So how do you feel about this, man? I think it's absolutely disgusting. The drink and his behavior. How do you feel, bro?
Yeah, it's a joke. He just undermined everything that he supposedly stood up for, as you put it, not all that long ago. This was like 4 months ago. This was back in April when he was shooting up them cases with the gun. Now, my premise with this whole thing remains because back then, what I was questioning was Bud Light's motivation behind the campaign. And that VP lady, she was on news shows doing interviews talking about how she was trying that the goal behind the campaign is to appeal to a wider audience. And what you and I were saying was, why does appealing to a wider audience automatically mean trans? There was something that seemed agenda esque about that. That's what we were questioning. And so, from that standpoint, I understood the sentiment behind what Kid Rock was doing. Because why do that when your brand this entire time has been Mill America, Wrangler jeans, Brett Favre guy? And so, if you want to appeal, which is the majority of the population still statistically, you already got that in the bag. You want to appeal to a wider, you want to appeal to the most people possible. Why does that mean you go trans? Why not go minority groups racially or
And
ethnically?
she said younger people, not
Yes,
not wide.
right,
She said younger people.
right. So it's like, why does appealing to younger people mean trans? You need to peel some of that back and try to understand what that actually means. Be that as it may, he's undermined everything that he's done. And it
Yeah.
takes me back to the opinion that I had last week about Lizzo. Stop listening to these people because they are full of shit. Less than 10% of them live by what they preach. You know, Lizzo can be front and center as the queen of body positivity, but when cameras aren't rolling or when nobody's live streaming or on Instagram live or TikToking, she's criticizing her dancers for gaining too much weight. Okay. And that's what they are alleging she was doing as part of their lawsuit against her. And if that is true, then she is a flaming hypocrite because you cannot be the champion for body positivity, but then want to chastise people who you employ for gaining weight. That's ridiculous. But if you actually latch on to these people and you hitch, you sort of ride their coattails because you need some celebrity to be your inspiration, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to end up getting severely disappointed. And it looks like the same thing can be said about this guy
Unbelievable.
who looked like the guy who was speaking up for the people who want to retain some semblance of the way things used to be, or at least traditionalists as a whole, but then goes around drinking his beer. And the way that he was carelessly filmed drinking it leads me to believe he didn't even care.
No, he
Like,
doesn't.
it's like the thought didn't even cross his mind that it might
No.
not be good for his image if he spotted drinking this beer. The thought, it's like it didn't even cross his mind. He didn't even
Right.
think about it. He was just out there willy-nilly drinking the shit. So at that point, when you're doing that so carelessly, what merit is your message? And therefore, what merit should anyone else afford you? This is why the idea that you listen to these people is completely ridiculous. And I don't care who it is. You got to take what these people do and say with a grain of salt. They're selling to you in an effort to try to control you. Don't let them sell it to you. Don't believe them. Just take it all with a grain of salt. This guy's full of shit. And, because we saw him drinking the beer. So right away, we don't need there's no lawsuit that needs to get cleared up. We don't need to have no civil case. Nothing needs to be settled. We see him drinking the beer. He's full of shit. Point blank, period. When it comes to Lizzo, we'll see what happens with the allegations. But at least for now, it appears as though there is a possibility she's full of shit. Most of these people are full of shit. Stop worshiping these celebrities. Stop listening to them. Just don't pay attention. Okay? Because the 1 minute you're going to be like, oh, I got me a champion. Next thing you know, they're going to do something. And now you're sitting there feeling like you were let down, disappointed. And you have no one to blame but yourself, because these people are walking avatars. They're not real people. They're billboards. They're like NASCAR drivers. Like NASCAR drivers got the patches on their suits with all of the different logos and shit like that. That's what these celebrities are. They're like a NASCAR driver. This brand is here. This endorsement's here. This product is here. This slogan is here. This ideal is here. They're selling it to you. But, just like a used car salesman or somebody who works on a regular lot, they're going to sell you a car and tell you that it's not a lemon. And then you get behind the wheel after you sign on a dotted line, and they can't be liable for anything. And you drive it off the lot, and the car won't crank. You need to replace the alternator. You need to get the engine service. The car's a damn lemon. You can't get mad at the slick oil guy. He sold you a lemon and you bought it hook, line, and sinker. So that's kind of how I feel about this. I feel what you're saying though, because the hyper liberal progressive social anarchists are going to eat this up. They're going to eat this up.
Yeah.
And they don't deserve it.
No, they don't.
They don't deserve it. They are doing more harm than good when it comes to
Right.
this social discourse. They are killing us all. They don't deserve the win. And this dumbass just gave them a win.
Gave them a big ass W on their little, and again, it's not like I was running around. Oh yeah, because Kid Rock is, I'm not going to say that in an argument, but they can bring that up and go, see, y'all people don't even believe in y'all. And it's like, God damn it. But the reason why I brought it up, like people on the fence like myself and his regular fans, is that what side are people going to go? I know what side I just went on. To hell with this guy. Because now I'm boycotting him. So I'm pretty sure he's got some fans that's, that was like, oh yeah, I'm riding with Kid Rock. And then see him do this sucker. This is sucker, bro.
Yeah, it really is.
This is some sucker ass shit. Sorry, I had to go there with the phrase. But this is a sucker move. I don't care, bro. If for free or for pay, boy, you look like an idiot. Like doubling back on this. Like, how do you double back on this? And this is an easy one. Just don't drink Bud Light. What? What? I can't believe it. That's somebody, that's literally somebody's like, oh, you can't go into a Klans meeting. Somebody tell me that. It's like, oh, I got to boycott. What I got to do? Just not go to a Klans meeting? And they go, yeah. But I failed because I went to it. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. Nah, I wouldn't say that. But still, nevertheless, man, that's like them saying that to me, and I get caught at a Klansman. It's like, why are you there? Like, just sipping that drink is the sip of oppression, bro. And you just sitting there, with a smile on your face. So I don't care for that, man. You just look like a sucker, bro. And the little bit of backbone that I thought you had from when you filmed that video, because again, I'm not around here checking for you, but that little bit of backbone that you showed me there, you just showed me that it was, like you said, false, and showed me that you don't have none. You were better off not recording that at all, venting around your friends, and then sneaking Bud Light 1 to 2 months later. Then to sit there and put something on social, shooting it up like that shit was not gonna go viral. So, hey man, he's reaping what he sowed on this one. Apparently, he was always a sucker. So this was just some sucker shit that he got caught doing. So I don't care, man. This is lame, dog.
Yeah,
super
it
lame.
is. It is. It's loser. It's loser shit. It's loser behavior. It is. It's the rapper who's like, I'm in the street shooting and I'm in the kitchen whipping, and then you find out that they are,
correction officer.
a correctional officer. Yeah, that's why it's weirdo. It's weirdo shit. And stop. Just all I can say is just stop listening to these people. Just stop listening to these people. They aren't real. I look at most of these people and I look at them as, you're not even a real human. I feel like I'm looking at some sort of hologram projection, and the real person is like wearing some kind of VR headset or some shit. And but what I'm seeing before me, you're not even a real person. You're not even a real person. And the few amongst these famous people who do have a soul, you don't hear them much because they're real people. And so they're not having their entire life documented on the internet, or allowing themselves to become a walking billboard, standing for this and standing for that and standing for this, even though they know in their heart of hearts they ain't about that life in any way. That's the minority of that group. The majority of them do stuff like this, and it's just loser behavior. And so you have to separate art from artists, right? So I'm never going to be the person who gets all high and mighty and says, oh, I'm not going to be someone who says Kid Rock's a hypocrite, don't listen to his music. I'm not that guy, because I've always been the person who separated art from artists. You might be a scumbag or a liar or a fraud in your personal life, but when it comes to your craft, unless it's such a flagrant form of hypocrisy that I just simply can't reconcile, I've always been someone who's been able to be like, okay, I'll still listen to your music and take it for what it is, but I'm not going to listen to your opinion on anything because you're full of hot garbage. So I'm not going to be like, don't listen to his music, but whenever the guy opens his mouth and it ain't on a song, just ignore this shit. And that goes for him as well as anybody else, because look, now he's created a mess, and he has set centrist traditional people such as myself 2 or 3 years back, because he decided to be this careless and do this. Like, at least drinking in the house. You're in a public place where you just, like, that's what I'm saying. It's just the way that it's like the thought never crossed his mind that maybe it's not a good idea for me to drink this in this moment. The thought didn't even cross his mind. And that to me is the most egregious part about this whole situation. So, these people get on my nerves, man. They really do. And they don't get on my nerves because they are celebrities or famous. They get on my nerves because people follow them. And that's the tragedy in all of this, is the fact that people follow them. And people need to learn how to follow themselves. So, this goes for Kid Rock, Lizzo, anybody else who you think is a champion for this. Y'all want to follow Amber Rose because you want to have slutness be socially acceptable. And instead of just admitting that you want slutness to be socially acceptable, you need a mouthpiece to speak on behalf of you. So you latch on to an individual like her, who is perhaps the worst person to pay attention to, see her personal life choices. It is what it is, man. I just say don't listen to these people. That's the central message behind this. Most of them are full of shit, period.
And I'll just say that I think I think the in the nutshell, what I was trying to get at is I think he's lost more fans out of all this than he got. And he won a lot of people over with that foolishness, including his own. And I'm sure he's gonna lose quite a bit of people, of his real fans. And people that looked at him like us. There's some rappers that I look at as solid dudes. And yeah, I don't whatever, but it's still like he's a solid dude. And so for that person to go against their thing, it's kind of, you still don't, they are human. But at the same time, when you rest your hat on, but you know what I'm saying, this dude's solid. And so Kid Rock came out as, hey, I'm a solid dude. I'm up and down. I'm on my square like that. And I'm pretty sure his fans is like real people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever class of people they are that decide to listen to him, they on some, it's the Yo Gotti version of fans that listen to him in that world. So they want real stuff. They don't want it. They don't want no cookie cutter. They don't want nothing. We want some real talk. And so for you to come out, that's what I said, it's so easy. So, and for you to come out and just shit all over yourself like this.
Yes.
And as you said, being so oblivious, and I'm thinking he's so oblivious because he hasn't stopped. This is so casual. He was like, oh shit, I forgot I wasn't supposed to be drinking this. He does drink it in the privacy of his own home. He forgot where the hell he was at. So I think that's why he was so casual with this. But be that as it may, I'm not going to tell Kid Rock fans to stop listening to Kid Rock. But I'm pretty sure there's some Kid Rock fans out there that listen to him. And then when his name come up in the playlist now, they go, they're going to skip that. And they never did it before. And he caused that to himself by being such a dork. Such a lame move.
Yeah. It's a loser move. It is. It's a loser move. And whatever collateral damage that he incurs because of this, I gotta say he deserves it. If for no other reason than pure carelessness and stupidity. Forget the hypocrisy angle. You deserve it's like the dumbass. It's like the dumbass of the year award. You deserve whatever you get just for the stupidity of it all. Like, seriously, dumb that is. You deserve everything you get. It's just the stupid tax. He's gonna pay the stupid tax.
When you sent me that, bro, I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Out of all the things. What? Get out of here, bro. You're done.
Yeah, he's out of there. Oh well. Yeah, keep on running that bar, Kid Rock. I don't know what else you got going on, bro, but that was just stupid.